welcome students to this workshop. And just to give you a background, we've had a lot of brainstorming sessions, and what you're going to see over the next 2 or 3 days is a result of intense discussions, deliberations, research, debates, and heralding all this was our very own Ms. Suchorita Bardhan, the communications specialist, Unicef office for West Bengal. And we are delighted that we have been able to offer the best possible content, updated to the latest realities. And to talk more about the workshop, I have the pleasure of inviting the communication specialist, UNICEF Office for West Bengal, Ms. Suchorita Bardhan, to kindly introduce the workshop.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shankar Pandey. I think this is a milestone achievement that we've been able to make this far. We have come a long way, even amid the COVID situation, since the time that we began our work in development journalism in West Bengal. Over the last year and a half, we have used or put good time to look at the curriculum, trying to update the curriculum, including looking at risk reporting. We've had discussions with media professionals as well as media educators from various parts of the country who have been leading and have been actively participating in development journalism. We have tried and tested and vetted the module already once, but we wanted to have, of course, this training physically. That is not yet going to happen, but we look forward at some point of time when we can have a face-to-face training. We did not want to not utilize this time, and we thought that it would be better that we reach out to most of you and try and see what is the feedback that we have. This is a kind of a capsule workshop where we try and give you snippets from the curriculum or the lesson plan that will be part of the postgraduate media program. And we hope to be able to integrate it into the curriculum henceforth. And this initiative has been happening across. It started in Assam, went to Rajasthan. Many universities, 22 universities are part of this. We are waiting for UGC to give a nod. Meanwhile, we've had many faculties. A little while ago, I had a professor from Thakurpukur College calling me up, saying that we are interested in having a physical meeting of this development journalism program. So, and we've had a lot of interest generated by other faculties and media educators from across all universities. I am extremely proud and happy that this event actually is happening today. But I would just like to go back a little. Since I represent UNICEF and our mandate is to work for children, we believe in ethical and responsible reporting, and that's how we started the journey. Way back when we started looking at the kind of reporting that used to happen on children, we looked at a lot of sensationalization. We looked at reactive news, and we were looking for some more strong, authenticated, evidence-backed news that would give us much more input and maybe be of insight to policymakers. We turned the table instead. We invited journalists, we invited media educators to understand and assess whether that was the need of the hour and how we could try and initiate that. The story is long, but we've been able to do that so far. There is almost, when I tell you the 22 universities across India are part of this, it means that they have invested and vetted the fact that this is indeed required. We've had a lot of discussions and back and forth on the curriculum, on the integration. You may be knowing that this is a program for you. This was preceded by a program for faculties and will be followed up with a program for media professionals. So this is a very important learning and lesson for us as well. While the 3-day session starts with you as the first batch, I would also like to welcome you along with Press Club from UNICEF. And with that, I would also like to mention that my Chief of UNICEF Field Office here in West Bengal, Mr. Mohiuddin, who Dr. Shankar Pandey will formally introduce a little while afterwards, has also been a great inspirational person behind this entire show. Right from looking at Why can't we include more universities and colleges, to trying to understand how we can reach out to media professionals, to understanding the scope of development journalism. He has been behind this initiative and supported and encouraged all of us very much. So I would like to acknowledge that as we begin today's journey. And I look forward to all of you actively participating and also giving us critical feedback so that we can try and learn a little bit as we proceed with you, not only on the domain understanding, but also on how we could bring it better towards you, maybe when we look at the pedagogy of it. So with that, I will stop here because the time is short, the learning is more important, and I will hand it over to Dr. Shankar Pandey for inviting Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, Chief, UNICEF West Bengal Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bardhan, for the introduction. And I'm sure we got a glimpse of what is to come. I have the proud privilege of introducing Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, the Chief UNICEF Office for West Bengal, before I invite him for the inaugural address. Welcome to the program, sir. Mr. Mohammad Mohiuddin started his current mission to India as Chief UNICEF Office for West Bengal since November 2017. He is also UN's State Coordinator and Area Security Coordinator for the whole United Nations system. He is an active member of the Consular Corps Kolkata, CCK, which is the forum of the diplomatic community in Kolkata. He's been leading UNICEF missions in the area of education, health, nutrition, water, sanitation and hygiene, child protection, social policy and communication for development, advocacy and media and partnerships. UNICEF, as you know, has been working in partnership with government departments and parastatals, legislatures, judiciary, Child Rights Commission, Human Rights Commission, universities, civil service organizations, civil society organizations, and private sector and so on. Prior to joining UNICEF India, Mr. Mohiuddin has been UNICEF's Chief of Field Office in Sokoto, Nigeria since 2014, where he set up the field office and has led UNICEF's program in 3 northwestern federal states. Mr. Mohiuddin has been working for last 33 years in the area of public policy, institutional development and governance and development management. Mr. Mohiuddin worked from 2006 to 2014 with UN DPKO missions in Afghanistan as head of civil affairs section in the regional office, Kunduz, deputy head of field coordination in mission headquarters, Kabul, and in Sudan with the office of UNRCHC as humanitarian affairs officer. In his first assignment with UNICEF, he worked with the Bangladesh country office as program coordinator in the emergency obstetric care section from 2000 to 2004. Prior to this, he has also worked with the World Bank from 1998 to 2000. Mr. Mohiuddin started his career in Bangladesh Civil Service in 1988 and has worked with Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, National Planning Commission, and Central Bank of Bangladesh. He obtained Masters in Economic Policy Management from University of Clermont-Ferrand, France in 1996, with World Bank Graduate Scholarship Program and Masters in Economics from University of Chittagong, Bangladesh in 1988. We are delighted to have you amongst us, sir. I have the pleasure of handing you the mic for the inaugural address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pandey. Distinguished resource persons of today, eminent academicians, and also the media personalities, students from Calcutta University, Women's College, Calcutta, Vishwabharati, and Sister Nivedita University, my UNICEF colleague, Suchorita, Bardhan, who are critical and key to organizing this training workshop. Good evening.
Mohiuddin, can I ask you to be a little louder, please?
Okay.
Slightly louder. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. UNICEF has been working, as Dr. Pandey mentioned, with the government, police, and judiciary, as well as with the media for the well-being of children in the state. We have quite significant progress in routine immunization, reduction of infant, child, and maternal mortality, school enrollment, provision of water and sanitation, and social protection. Despite this remarkable progress in the state, there are still some geographical pockets like the districts of Malda, Murshidabad, Purulia, South Bardhan, and some groups, backward groups like the minorities, SC and ST, who are still lagging behind. In general, state still needs to go far in two major areas. One is the malnutrition and also ending child marriage. In the development history, reaching the last miles of progress is always a difficult journey. And there, government and development partners can't alone reach this last journey. We need support from all stakeholders of the society. And media is the most critical partner at this stage. I am giving the example of ending child marriage. We know generally it's due to poverty, lack of awareness, education of the parents, etc. But in Bengal, poverty now has come down to 16% of the total population. To reduce income barrier of the parents, government has quite good number of social protection schemes like the home rations, Lakshmi Bandar, etc. To reduce also the child marriage, lots of schemes like Konyasri, Shobustaki, Shapala, etc. are also there. In terms of awareness among the adolescents, let me tell you my discussion with an adolescent girl in Purulia. When I visited there, I talked to her. She was not in the school because she was sick. And I asked her, if you have been forced to go for a child marriage, what would you like to do? First thing she said that I will discuss with my friends, then with my teachers, then with Panchayat president, then with you and officer in charge of the police system. So she is thorough about the awareness. What are the means to stop the child marriage? So awareness part also we have done significant improvement among the adolescents and definitely among the parents and the community. But still we see in the society the some prevalence. I have witnessed a lot of highly educated families. They attempted for a boy and ended up with having 4 to 5 girls. No interest of parents to invest in girls. What we can see, an educated family with well-off family with income, they send the boys to a private school, but the girls to a public school. So we can identify the preference. Parents are going to other states even for arranging child marriage. Thus, they have the fear or the police and others law. They are going to other states. If you go to the hospitals, I have witnessed this a couple of times. You see huge number of teenage pregnancy and pregnant mothers. And if you ask them, everybody will tell you that they are 20 years of age. It's not in reality if you look at their face. So it's a deep rooted value system and norms in the society about the value for girls. It's really, really a harmful practice and has intergenerational gap and impact on girls and continue as vicious cycle of malnutrition. How? At teenage, once they are getting married early, they are ending up with the teenage pregnancy, ending up with the child labor. And as a result of the pregnancy, they are coming with low birth weight babies. And before even getting pregnant, they were suffering, all the adolescents mostly are suffering from anemia. So again, when the girl is, the birth is coming, it is coming with a low birth weight. So again, same low birth weight, if it is a girl, she is also malnourished. And when she is again getting married and having another baby, again it is coming as low birth weight. So the cycle continues again and again. So it's the vicious cycle. This is a tough situation and needs lots of patience and all out concerted efforts from all of us, all sections of the society, communities, panchayats, teachers, online workers, self-help groups, civil society organizations. Media here has a critical role. That's why Unicef reached partnership with Kolkata Press Club to train media students and entry mid-level journalists from across the state. We are also collaborating with media houses and personalities to organize roundtables, talk shows, etc., so that we can create a Jano Andolan in the society, social movement in the society. Today, we are lucky. We are having this first stage of first training for media students on development journalism. We are happy that we could take the first step on this journey of development journalism in West Bengal. Understanding the tenets of ethical reporting is another important and essential issue to ensure that rights of every individual is practiced and upheld. For us at UNICEF, our mandate to work on children makes it necessary to ensure that news gathering adopts ethical guidelines and is backed by evidence from a credible source. We are also keen on storytelling and data journalism, both of which are important elements that make news impactful. Senior academicians and journalists from the panel of experts for this 3-day session are attending today. I am happy to see that the first session of development journalism sets the context today. There will be a separate session on children and women in this training. I am also happy to note that data journalism has also been included along with learning experiences from senior journalists. As prospective journalists, we will be looking up to you to represent the fourth pillar of the democracy, media. I am certain that your motivation, your enthusiasm, and your spirit will help to practice development journalism and create a space for evidence-based responsible reporting, particularly on social issues, like we mentioned about the child marriage, malnutrition, and other issues. For UNICEF, we will definitely look at children finding enhanced spaces of ethical reporting on them. Today, I wish all the success of this course and thanks to the panel of experts for making their efforts to support us on this noble journey. My sincere gratitude to the leadership of the Kolkata Press Club to make this training happen today. Thank you so much, everybody.
If I can just step in for a bit, Mr. Snehasis Shur, President, Press Club Kolkata, has also joined us. Mohiuddin, yes, that was for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohiuddin, for the address. You so rightly pointed out about the importance of development journalism in today's perspective. And I'm sure students will have a lot of takeaways from these sessions. As we say, the ABCDE of news production, the attitude, the behavior, the content, the discourse, and the ethics about news production. So we'll have lots and lots of discussion on that. And it has been possible because we had people like Mr. Suchorita Bardhan and Mr. Snehasis Shur holding our hands at the back. And I'm delighted to welcome eminent journalist, President Press Club Kolkata, an eminent media educator as well. He's been my teacher and he has been a teacher of teachers. So welcome, Mr. Snehasis Shur, for your inaugural address.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. Your Excellency, Mohammad Mohiuddin, the Chief of West Bengal Office of UNICEF, our colleague in the partner organization UNICEF in the project communication specialist, Mr. Suchorita Bardhan, our project director, Dr. Shankar Pandey, and the resource persons of the day, Professor Amit Shobhan Rai of Jawaharlal Nehru University, and all the participating students. I think His Excellency has made things clear and easier for us to set the ball rolling. What he has seen is a reality. And you as a budding scribe, and not only that you are going to be journalist, in the modern world, you are going to be communicator, maybe working in the development sector, maybe working for the NGOs. Communication is a major factor, IEC component, information, education, communication. You are going to be the change agent. To be the change agent, you must see the reality properly so that you can plan your communication strategy. You can refer back to the policy prescription makers so that you become a linkage from the field to the policy and also to communicate the policies and tell them the importance of development. Development is an enormous issue. But we would like that from a young age, you start having a perception on this enormous issue. I would thank His Excellency, Mr. Mohiuddin, for personally coming here and addressing us. That makes a difference. And for his lucid and to the point and appropriate beginning to set the ball rolling. That what is the reality, what to see and what to prioritize, where the focus should be there for us wherever we go to become a journalist or a communicator in any other form. Sir, not only for this, but also for allowing Press Club Kolkata, the oldest press club of the entire subcontinent, to work with you, sir, for such an international organization, having a committed and passionate people like you and your other colleagues. We are grateful. Yes, we are working journalists, but that does not mean to think of development, because the journalists are change agents. That is our mandate. And sir, this is the second part of the second year of our project. We are grateful that you have partnered with us, and I believe that we will do our level best to keep the international benchmarking of the Unicef and your field office, because there are a lot of things to be done. And this project is three-pronged. Number one, we have first started with the educators. That's a TOT, training of trainers, so that they percolate, they become a catalyst to train the other journalism students. And now in the second phase, sir, as you said, that we are directly reaching the journalism students, the master students, to set their agenda, to tell them, to show them what the priorities should be in their lives as they work as communicators. And thirdly, sir, we'll be going out to the districts to reach out to our colleagues, to tell them that whatever you do, please think of people, because as a journalist, you are going to report people. People means human development. People means human relations, and human development is the most important factor. Yes, we are required to understand, study the reports, to know the realities and to highlight them, which helps the administration, policymakers, and people at large to make them conscious about what they should do. The behavioral change should come through us. So we are grateful for considering us as partners. We can assure you from Press Club Kolkata, we have a group of professionals as media practitioners as well as media educators, and we are very serious. We know somewhere in the world somebody is paying and you all are spending time. Somebody is spending money, somebody is spending time. With your support, we want to make it fruitful, to take it to the grassroots level in the rightest possible way, so that actually changes may come through us. May not be tomorrow, but later. Thank you very much for partnering with us, sir. Thank you very much for your personal presence that gives us that how serious you are in the project and how passionate you are towards our project. It is really, really a great opportunity for us. And to the students, as you have known from His Excellency, and whatever I wanted to communicate to you, that you must understand your priorities. You set the agendas. Either you become a journalist, or you become a media educator, or you become an IEC expert. Communication will be there, and you must know what to communicate. You all need to be change agent. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Your Excellency. Thank you, all others. Thank you very much for the participants. You know, it's a Sunday weekend and book fair is going on. But as you know by now that we are having 3 simultaneous projects, so there was no other way. I'm sorry, but I will tell you, the kind of input you are going to get, you will not repent. That much I can assure you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your seriousness. Thank you, everybody.
As we draw to the close of the inaugural session, I have the pleasant task of thanking everybody who's been involved with this project. beginning with the 3 participating universities today. Thank you to all our colleagues in these institutions, Professor Meenal Parikh, especially of Snehasis University, Professor Vishwajit Das from Women's College Kolkata, and all our colleagues at Vishwa Bharati as well. Thanks to everyone at Press Club Kolkata, right from the office staff, Mr. Pankaj Das and Mr. Jodar and others, and thanks to our backroom team of Mr. Devan Bhaduri and Ms. Manushri Maiti for your support. Thanks to the Unicef team who've been supporting us, especially Ms. Suchorita Bardhan, whose passion for this subject is well known, and we've managed to introduce so many new things into our curriculum and into our discourse when we talk of media education. And that began with data journalism a few years back. It came to risk communication. It will come to modular journalism and storytelling also. So we've been delighted to have these interactions, and it has helped all of us grow academically and professionally. And we can't thank you enough for all the wonderful input, the intellectual input you have provided, from apart from all the other logistic support that Mr. Snehasis was talking about. So I can't thank you enough. As I said, it's been and I wouldn't be kind of overemphasizing when I say that it has been historic in many ways. So thank you again for your support. I thank all the eminent resource persons, people of the highest eminence in the country, and we'll have one immediately after the inaugural session, for their support over the years, and the quality that we managed to maintain over the years is because of this support from eminent resource persons all over the country. So thank you everyone, and particularly to these young bright students who are our future. And as sir said, we see future communicators, journalists, decision makers, policy makers, and influencers amongst so many of you. I'm delighted that and probably that is something that we keep seeing with the media and communication education, that a majority of our students are girl students. So it gives me a special pride to announce that. And we will have our valedictory session on 8th, which is the International Women's Day. So this has been planned out like that. On the International Women's Day, all our resource persons are women, and we'll have Ms. Suchorita Bardhan as the valedictory speaker also. So it has worked out very well for us so far, and we can all promise to put in our very best to make it as useful and as relevant for all the stakeholders. And just as a mark of our professionalism, if you see the clock, it's exactly 7:30, and we end the inaugural session on time. So thank you again for your support. And immediately after the inaugural session, I will start introducing Professor Amit Shobhan Ray, who's already there in the panel. So thank you again. 96 participants. I'm sure we'll reach 100 as time goes on. So thank you again. So with this and with your permission, I close the inaugural session.